Hey everyone, before I get into this video, I want to make it clear that this video was supposed to be all on camera, but my camera audio got all messed up even after I did like 8 sound tests. So the first part of this video is going to be fully edited. Thank you so much and enjoy this video. 10 years ago, I started this YouTube channel with the dream of being just like my favorite YouTubers. At the time, I was 11 years old, which was 100% breaking the YouTube TOS, but we don't have to talk about that. But now I'm 21. I've gone from making thumbnails like this to making thumbnails like this. I've gone from editing like this to editing like this. And now I've gone from talking like this to talking like this. I'm not gonna act like it's a huge improvement, but come on guys, I talk different now. And for the most part, I'm proud to say I've grown a lot since then, even though my channel hasn't. While you see creators like Jinxie, iShowSpeed, and other people blow up overnight, I've been here 10 years at 500 subscribers. So let me break down everything: who I am, how I've grown, how my content has grown, and if this dream is really worth it. And maybe at the end of all of it, I can answer this simple question: did I fail? Let's start with introductions. I'm FlameAtGames, but 10 years ago, I was Flame Destroyer YT. That's a name I still look back at and laugh. Granted, that's acting like the name FlameAtGames isn't equally as dumb, but still funny. But let's just start from the beginning. 10 years ago, I'd probably say, I'm Flame Destroyer YT, I make Minecraft videos and I want to be just like popular MMOs. But now I'd say, I'm FlameAtGames, I make videos about a lot of different things, and I don't want to be like popular MMOs. Unlike 10 years ago, I don't just create content for YouTube anymore. I also post on Instagram, TikTok, and I've worked with a bunch of people as a content creator and editor. Back then, I viewed editing as a means to an end and the most dreadful part of the creating experience. But now, editing has become my favorite part of the creation process because every single part of the creation process is adding a new element to the story you're telling. For editing, whether that's the music you choose, the sound effects, the green screen explosions, or the slightest shift in color grading, some of the biggest elements of a video story is from editing. And that's just the surface level of how I've grown. I didn't even mean to do that segue. When I was younger, if you asked me why I wanted to be a YouTuber, I could almost 1000% guarantee you my answer would be, I can sit in my room and play Minecraft all day and make money? That sounds awesome. But now that I'm an adult, even if doing that would make me filthy goddamn rich, I do not want to spend my whole day sitting in a room playing Minecraft. That sounds absolutely dreadful. I know, first world problem, but just making content isn't the reason I want to be a content creator. It's not just for money or fame. In fact, if I could get a little deeper and a little cheesier, the reason I want to be a content creator now is because there are so many content creators who are terrible, terrible people. I'm not gonna act like talking to a camera, or in my case, talking to my Audacity window, is gonna garner millions of people to think like me, but the truth is, the content you consume builds you. I'm gonna get into a bit of a political rant, but even if you dislike listening to politics, this is something I believe is important for everybody to hear. I'll speak from my own experience. When I was maybe 9 or 10 years old, I watched one radical right video of some guy telling a trans woman they were a man. With MLG sounds galore, oh baby a triple right there, air horn right there, another air horn, another air horn. They did a lot of air horns back then, I don't really know why. If I saw that video right now, I'd laugh at it because it's so stupid and scroll away. But as an impressionable child, I took that as fact, because they put air horn. And now that I'm 21, seeing creators who hold these stances that are purely rooted in hate and no actual facts spread it to young impressionable audiences, it makes me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, feel like some creators have too much power. So if you're gonna be a content creator saying slurs out on the street, young impressionable kids are gonna see that and mimic the behavior, not knowing why it's wrong. Transition time. And what I'm gonna say might sound really stupid. First off, because my camera died and now I'm using my phone to record, and second off, because it's an analogy from One Piece. You're not going to be able to get through a video of mine without me talking about One Piece anymore. Let's go, dude. God, I need to get a life. This specific example I want to use is Fishman Island. Fisher Tiger and many other fishmen were enslaved by humans. Eventually, he was freed, but where many others would turn to take vengeance upon the humans, Fisher Tiger decided not to hurt any humans to not perpetuate a cycle of hatred. And that ideology was passed down, but mixed up with Arlong. Arlong, while never enslaved, still experienced systematic racism, so he still had some reason to resent humans. However, even with those two experiencing some pretty horrible things from humans, Hody Jones, when asked what humans ever did to him, he said, It was nothing. The humans never did anything to him. The hate wasn't experienced. The hate wasn't earned. It was only inherited without the understanding of why. I don't think I have to spell it out more here. That's real world history. So when there are so many impressionable children on these platforms, it really sucks to see creators spreading this word of people's existence being wrong. And it's not just gender, it's race, it's sexuality, it's disability, it's ethnicity, it's socioeconomic status, it's all of that. And there are way too many people saying it's wrong to be who you are. And you can't make power, you can't destroy power, you can only rearrange it. And I know that sounds dumb, because what can a non-politics YouTuber like myself even do for these marginalized communities? And personally, I would point you to most commentary YouTubers on this platform. When you look at creators like Drew Gooden, Chad, Jarvis Johnson, Eddie Burback, all of these creators seem like they give some sort of sense of support. And I think the big factor of this is how these creators tend to punch up instead of punching down. In comedy, the term punching up means to target those with more social power, while punching down means to target those with less. So it's natural when you see corporations make fun of billionaires, CEOs, corporations, that you're gonna view them through a more progressive lens. And it isn't just for your benefit, but you're building a community where people can enter and feel safe. And even if they aren't around you physically, it promotes the consumption of your content because it's something that they feel safe around. And ultimately, that's why I want to keep creating despite the fact I'm not going to be a political creator. To balance things out or slightly tilt the scale in the favor of loving one another. Back to the topic at hand. In terms of the content I want to create, I'm kind of split right now. As much as I'm really passionate about Pokemon, One Piece, Deltarune, I don't want to lock myself into one of those niches. This is actually something I talked about earlier this year because audiences stay when there's a consistency in your content. But then I had to once again ask myself, what is consistency? Oh man, I did it again? When I first started YouTube at 11 years old, my first question after posting my very first video was, why am I not famous yet? So like any 11-year-old doing YouTube on their own, I looked up how to get 1 million subscribers. And the first thing that video had to say was be consistent. Now at the time I thought that meant have a content schedule, post once a week or something like that. And while that's important, that barely scratches the surface of what consistency means. Consistency isn't just timing. Consistency is patterns. It's how your thumbnails look, it's the pacing of the video, it's the style of your editing, it's the tone you are trying to set. I think I can show this pretty well for my final few videos in my 185-day challenge. For those of you who don't know, at the beginning of this year, I started making a video every single day until today, because today marks 10 years of me making YouTube videos. I already said that at the beginning of the video. On June 17th, I made a video talking about Deltarune Chapter 5, since the chapter was going to be released a week from the video. And that video performed pretty well, so I made another Deltarune video with similar editing, similar pacing, and similar tone. Then that video performed not as well across platforms, but I did get into a rhythm of what I liked editing. I started getting into the pattern and the rhythm of designing, thinking, writing, and editing. Then I kept making Deltarune videos until that chapter came out, and that led to one of my most successful performance streaks I've ever had. I was having fun with it. I was enjoying the consistency. But if I knew all of this, what took me so long? And then I really have to ask, how did my content grow? There's no way I did it again. A lot of how my content has grown is displayed alongside how I have grown. When I was 11, I wasn't thinking about politics, money, or anything like that. I was farting around playing Minecraft. And a lot of that is reflected in my old videos. Please don't go watch those, they're really bad. And looking back at those videos, I think my first good thumbnail was this murder mystery thumbnail from like 7 years ago. And I think I started to understand more of what I wanted to make in this Among Us video from like 5 years ago. A quick side note on that actually, I went back to watch that video thinking I would see a big improvement, and while I did see a bit of an improvement, this audio mixing was some of the worst stuff I've seen in my entire life. Anyway, from then on I made this Club Penguin video, which honestly, I look back at that and watch that and I like that video. I think if I made that same video today with better editing, better mixing, better storytelling, I think that would be a really good video. But now I realize that's a pattern for all of my videos around this era. For my Minecraft VR video, for my Lucky Block video, for my Inside the Mine video, for my Redstone video, for my Gary's Mod video, all of those feel like they just need an update. Then I think back to this Hedge Wars video from like 3 years ago, and honestly, this video was awesome. That's probably the first video where I started to see an uphill growth in quality. Then about 2 years ago, I made this Pokemon card video, which was the start of the decrease in content. A month later, I ranked my groceries, which honestly, I think that idea is pretty funny. I might do that again. 4 months later, I took my best friend, who is white, to try boba for the first time, and I really liked that video too. 7 months later, I went home and I made a vlog about it, and side note about that, this is the worst thumbnail I've ever made in my entire life, because I know how to design thumbnails now. This is terrible. 5 months later, I made a video about Pokemon cards being frustrating, and this video I'm actually really proud of. I'd actually recommend you go watch that. After you're done watching this video though, please don't leave this video, because I still have a lot more to talk about. Then 3 months later, I made this video about a glitch in Smash Bros, which I was also pretty proud of. And 9 months later, we're here. I haven't made a long form video since then. And honestly, I miss having long videos. But nothing can compare to short form. On Instagram, I've been on a roll with 68,000 views, 72,000 views, 135,000 views. On TikTok, I've been on a roll, 42,000 views, 19.4 thousand views, 27,000 views. And on YouTube, of course, I got 10,000 views, 2.3 thousand views. 26 views? What is going on? I have realized since then, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok algorithms, while inspired off of one another, are extremely different. I'll start off with YouTube. YouTube's initial content distribution goes out to a mix of your subscribers and non-subscribers, but the overall mix is a very, very small test group. So if like 30% of that test group scrolls away, it's not gonna recommend that video. But for TikTok, its testing is very broad. It could go viral with the snap of your fingers, or it could just fade away. That's because each video on TikTok has to prove itself. While having a big following is good, the majority of your views will come from non-followers, and each video is essentially tested in a vacuum. And for Instagram, they distribute your content to mostly your followers and shared interest groups. This means it goes to people who already like my content and people who are most likely to enjoy that content. However, I think the biggest factor is how streamlined each platform is in sending a video to a friend. On Instagram, sending Reels seems like one of the main features of the platform. On TikTok, sending videos to your friends seems kind of like an afterthought. On YouTube, they just added DMs, and you kind of need a phone number to use that, so they essentially don't have it. That's just something fascinating I wanted to point out, because it seems interesting that your shareability is closely related to your success. And just like I mentioned before, at the beginning of this year, I decided I was gonna make a video every single day until today, which is my 10-year anniversary on YouTube. And let me just say, I'm never doing that ever again. I'm gonna be real, it was really hard. I'm not gonna act like it's the same stress as a 9 to 5. In fact, if I were to compare this to an actual job, it would probably be pretty easy. But that's not why it was hard for me. It wasn't hard for me because it was a lot of work. It was hard for me because at some points it felt difficult to care. When I didn't have an idea, I'd rummage through my head. What would I make a video on? What should I do? And then I get a product that I don't even like. I was putting less effort into scripting, less effort into the idea, less effort into the heart of it, and that showed in those videos. I'll admit there were a few dumb videos I look back on fondly because it was a dumb joke I really liked, but most of the dumb videos were dumb videos that I don't like. And I wanna be able to get away with making videos and putting my entire heart into it and not making it feel like something I have to rush. Because for me, it will always be quality over quantity, and that's something I learned from this 185-day challenge. And ultimately, I think that's the difference for short form versus long form creators. For short form, you can get away with short attention grabbers that don't take long and don't take a lot of effort. But for long form, there's more commitment, there's more direction, there's more heart to it. I think if 11-year-old me saw YouTube Shorts, I would be all over that, and I'd probably be dominating the game. But now long form is becoming more and more desirable to me. And I think part of why I want to do more long form is because I've essentially been doing short form videos every single day. So trying to fit a long form video into a pattern of short form breaks my rhythm and makes it really hard to get out other videos. Okay, this section's gonna be a lot shorter, and honestly something I didn't really plan for, but I think it's something really important to talk about. For any goal in your life, whether it's to work out more, to make music, to be a politician, to go to the moon, surround yourself with people who support you and support your goal. Growing up, I made friends really slowly. And when I did make friends, I often lied about who I really was because I just wanted more people to hang out with, because at that age, that's what you think friends are. But now I'm 21. I'm not gonna be friends with someone who thinks my dreams are stupid, because that's not what a friend is. There are a good handful of my close friends right now who called my dreams really stupid in the past, but now we're adults and they support me. I feel so beyond lucky to have these people in my life, because there were so many times where I wanted to quit, I wanted to give up so bad, but I wanted to keep going because there are so many people that believe in me. And it was never anything huge like, you gotta keep going, man. It was mostly stuff like a simple message like, cool video, man. Good job on that video. Hey, there's porn in your comment section. There's porn in my comment section? Yeah, that's another huge thing. If my friends weren't supportive, I wouldn't have seen that, and that could have been really bad. So it's important not to just have friends who support you, but friends who look out for you. So this part of the video, I don't want to be a message just to my friends, but to everyone watching this video. Surround yourself with the people who truly support you, because if they don't support you, they aren't actually your friend. You know, I look at the 10 years I've been creating and I look at all the awesome things I've done and I'm so proud of it. I'm so happy about it. But then I think of the other creators who've been doing it for the same amount of time, if not shorter, and they made it. So I look at this dream and I ask myself, is it worth it? Is it actually worth it to keep going? After 10 years of essentially no growth, what's the point? I mean, if we compare to other creators who started in 2016, what I have done is nothing. I mean, there's Anthpo, Michael Reeves, iShowSpeed, all of them started in 2016, same time as me, and yet I haven't reached a fraction of what any of them have done. But for the purposes of this, I will show the statistics. Those are the top 0.5% of creators. Just to put that into perspective, there are 600,000 YouTube channels with 100,000 subscribers plus. And including those, there are 115 million YouTube channels with over 2.5 million videos being uploaded every single day, which tells me my chance of success is 0.5%. But all these other people surviving the 0.5% odds, why haven't I? Why can't I? Nothing to show for it like they can. So why keep going? That's when I ask myself, did I fail?
You dumbass! Kick logic out and do the impossible!
We evolve beyond the person we were a minute before. Little by little, we advance a bit further with each turn.
I know my own destiny, Uncle.
Is it your own destiny? Or is it a destiny someone else has tried to force on you?
This new era they keep rambling on and on about is a load of crap. The era when pirates dream of treasure will come to an end? Yeah, right! The dreams of pirates will never end!
生きてんだから無限にあんだろ
It's gonna sound stupid, but I think that's the meaning of life. I know you're watching a 21-year-old do a YouTube recap on their 10 years, and now they're talking about the meaning of life, but stick with me here, please. When you experience your last moments, you're gonna think about what you did right, what you did wrong, and what you didn't do at all. Maybe you'll remember sitting down to eat with someone who is eating alone. Maybe you'll remember saying something that you regret. And maybe you'll end up regretting not following your dream. Whatever that dream may be, whether it's mine to be a YouTuber, someone else's to make a video game, or someone else's to be a bodybuilder, or someone else to be an astronaut, whatever that is. But if I keep trying, then fail, in my final moments I could ask, why did I follow my dreams if I was going to fail? But then I'd ask, right now, why submit to a future that's yet to be determined? We have our whole lives to dream, but that doesn't mean push it off till you have free time. It means do it right now so you don't regret not doing it later. We're all gonna die eventually, so why die without the satisfaction of knowing you tried? Why give up when you can keep going? Why give up when the end's not even close to you? Ultimately, that's what it means to live. It's to make your dreams come true. Who cares if someone calls your dream stupid? Who cares if someone calls it crazy? Because Because if nobody's ever called your dream crazy, then you're not dreaming hard enough. Dream crazy, dream wild, dream stupid, because what kind of dream can you achieve in one day? You're a story, and your success is defined by the ending. Keep dreaming and never ever stop, because your dreams only end when you do. All of this to say is I'm gonna keep making YouTube videos because I'm only gonna know if I fail when I reach the end of the line, and I'm not close to the end of the line yet. This is also gonna say I'm not doing daily videos anymore. Maybe weekly long form videos, because long form videos actually seem really fun right now. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. It might be a mix of commentary, it might be a mix of gaming, I'm not sure yet. But what I do know is I'm not stopping anytime soon, because I really love this and I really want to keep going. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for 10 years and subscribe or something. Like, how have you not hit subscribe yet? Come on, hit the button.